this week's episode, we're going to be talking about
vulnerability
in
friendships.
Hope you enjoy. So Malachi, what is vulnerability?
Vulnerability is a good question you ask, because I'm going to give you the answer right now. It's just exposing yourself.
It's being exposed.
Emotionally. Yeah.
Being exposed emotionally in your heart.
Yeah.
It's just these different things. And so we're going to be talking about that in friendships. So what do we mean by exposing yourself? It's not anything negative.
No.
It's not, oh, I'm exposed, I'm vulnerable, so this person can hurt me. No, it's actually a building block for a healthy friendship, for a successful friendship, I guess that's the difference that ties from having just an ordinary friendship to like a real friendship is vulnerability.
Yes.
It's just sharing those parts of you, sharing your dreams, your aspirations that you haven't told anybody, those things that you really want to do, things that you're concerned with, your weaknesses, the things that you're afraid of. It's sharing those different parts of yourself that you just don't show to regular people.
Because if you're showing only, let's say, this one person, one layer of yourself, like, let's say you talk to this one person when you feel good, and when you just feel good. So that means they don't really get to see it. They don't get to see every part of you. They don't even get to see the part when you're mad or upset or frustrated. They only get to see the layer of what you are feeling good. So being vulnerable is just sharing and talking with people, not even when you just feel good, but when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad, feeling upset, and sharing with them like, this is how I feel, just like Monique said.
And that's what makes a real friendship. That what separates people on the street from the people who are in your life is that vulnerability. And do we have an example of vulnerability? Yes. There was this moment in a friendship that I had where I felt as though I was giving 100% into this friendship, and I did not feel like it was being reciprocated. I felt like I was giving 100%. I felt this person was giving maybe 50%. It wasn't equal. I felt like I was doing all of the work. And so for maybe a couple weeks, I just let it go because I did not want to ruffle this person's feathers. I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I don't really like confrontation. I don't like just out there being totally 100% vulnerable. I always say that, oh yeah, vulnerability is easy, but when it's actually you and you have to do it, it's a lot harder than it seems. So a couple weeks later, I came to the conclusion of no, I need to let this person know how I feel. So I sent them a long text, just sharing them the different reasons of what I felt, how I said the same thing that I told you guys. I felt that I was giving 100% and I did not feel like you were reciprocating that back to me. Maybe I'm being oversensitive, maybe it's me, but let me know what are your thoughts about it. And so that was a risk. That wasn't just be like, oh, I know how this person is gonna respond. That was a risk of sharing my feelings. I didn't know how this person was gonna respond. Actually, this person didn't respond. You know what I mean? They did not respond for a couple weeks later. And so that was a risk, but I said to myself, and they all said to me, it's better just to know now than to fake it till you make it. You know, people say fake it till you make it. No, sometimes you need to have that conversation so that you can actually know what you're getting yourself into. And so, yeah, that was a big step in this friendship because that was something that I had to deal with myself on. Am I having those unrealistic expectations? Am I doing too much? Or are those genuine feelings? And that's what I came to the conclusion of. No matter if I'm doing too much or not, I want to let this person know how I feel if I want to build a strong friendship with them. I have to let them know how I feel or what I'm thinking, because if I don't, then it's not a real friendship. It's just a regular friendship that's not gonna go anywhere because I'm not sharing those different parts with me. And so this person, eventually they did respond, and they had a good response, and it was all of these things, and I was able to know how I was able to move forward, what I was able to do, what I was able to maybe back up, not necessarily invest 100% if I'm looking at this friendship with an intent of being best friends and they're just keeping it like a close friend, then I'm not gonna do all that I was doing. Maybe I'll take a step back and re-examine the friendship and making sure that I'm making the right decisions.
Yeah.
And it takes having the right people in your life to coach you and to help you to be vulnerable. Like my mom, and I was just putting it to you and said my mom, my brother, and my mom and my dad, they were in my corner telling me that let this person know how you feel. Don't just hide it, because when you hide it, then then you're just gonna build that in your heart, and then you're just not gonna be able to get to the real root of the issue. Then you're just gonna making up other problems. But when you actually expose it, then you're able to deal with it.
Also, being vulnerable is good. It's a real good thing. But you want to also make sure that you're not vulnerable just to everybody out there, because then you will expose or have a chance of you getting hurt. Let me give you an example. You see a person, a stranger, you're walking by them. Do you automatically go to that person as if he was your best friend since first grade, or that person? No, because you don't know the person like that, so you don't just be vulnerable. Just same thing with friendship. Sometimes you have to assess the friendship. Sometimes you have to build a relationship before you can then you can start, moving to another layers, and you know what I meant. I was to say another tier, another layer.
It's like what we were talking about with the different types of friends. You're not just gonna be 100% vulnerable with those casual friends, because you have to build it, you have to grow, and then you start being vulnerable. You start sharing those parts of yourself when you know that person has your best interests at heart. Right. Because when they don't, they can use that against you. They can start going and tell everybody what you told them, because what you're telling them is something that you just don't share with everybody else. You're trusting that person with that information. You're trusting them with your feelings, with your heart, So then that's when it goes back to the previous video expectations, because if you guys don't have the same expectation or the same intent, then something will go wrong if you guys have different intentions. Because if you're trying to be vulnerable, that person doesn't really care, then something's gonna happen. Or if it's vice versa, if you guys both want to be vulnerable, then you guys will know. Then that's that. And that's the kind of conversations you just have to have a conversation. Don't just hide it. Don't just go in your head and think, oh, I don't know, I don't want to do this person, because you don't know what that other person is feeling. Because if you don't take that risk, you'll never know. And then also, she's saying have a conversation. That's good, because it's gonna be honest. Right now, it sounds awkward. Like, go have a conversation with somebody about the friendship that you want to have. Like, it sounds awkward, but it's very important to have, because if you don't have it, then your friendship it's never gonna grow. You're never gonna get that strong friendship that you may be desiring. And if you're not, continue to do what you're doing. But if you're looking for a strong friendship, if you want to get to that type of friendship where they just know everything about you and you're able to really have a good time, then it's gonna take healthy expectations, and it's gonna take vulnerability, which will make a good friendship. And that's what we want to let you know today, to be vulnerable with that friend, but make sure it's that right person. Don't make sure you're just telling them it's been a week and now you're telling them your whole life story. No, make sure that they're the person that has the same expectations as you, and that they're a person that you're willing and that you want to share your emotions with. And so we hope you enjoy. We hope you got something from the video. So Malachi, what can the people do? I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so that you can get notified every time we post another video. We will see you next week with another video. Stay tuned. Malachi, what can the people do? Be fresh, be blessed, all right, and especially do your best. Oh, wow. We're out. Peace.